This place got a new face, killing Joe's face. Got a Joe thing, chilling in a new fade. Blue space in a new place, what did he say? He done tic-tac, feeling like a true play. Step back and I never say no. I was winning over there, now I'm spinning out of flow. Got a feeling in the air, but I'm feeling kinda low. Got a ceiling over here and I think it's gonna blow. Hey, this place got a new face, killing Joe's face.
What is good, everybody? Yeah, I'm back asking you that question. What you watching? I'm a Korean OG, and you should get to know me, cause chilling is the attitude that we be. Yo, so kinda not chilling today. Got a serious video to bring to you, brought to us from Estonia by Artur Rehi, an Estonian soldier. He's also a YouTuber. I think I've been following Arthur probably 2+ years. Been watching his videos for 2+ years. Seen him play instruments, seen him sing, seen him sad. Arthur is a really good dude. He's one of the people I call a internet homie, because if we was to meet, we would hang like we've been hanging for a minute. It'd be like, hey, yeah, be chilling. You know how it is. You got some homies like that you ain't never seen in real life. But if you seen in real life, you know y'all would be homies. That's how I feel about Arthur. So being the close proximity, border proximity that Estonia is to Russia, and Russia making all these military moves, I'm sure you've heard at least some of it, past all the Trump and the Biden BS that's going on. I ain't even thinking about them. There's bigger stuff going on. Trump and Biden. But I'm just gonna skip on past all that stuff, because I know there's a lot in the news and it's a lot to sort. But I've been paying attention to the Russian incidents. They're making moves that's provoking war. There's already been some stuff happening as far as like acts of war. I said acts, A-C-T-S, acts, not A-X. Arthur is a soldier for Estonia, as I stated earlier, and he's actually kind of like our eyes on the front line, basically, because he's a reservist now. He was active. He's a reservist now, so he's kind of safe, but he's on call. And the way things is escalating, he may end up in that mix up, that bowl of hot oil that's brewing over there in Ukraine. Did I say that right? I think in the Ukraine. We'll go with that. I have to look down on it. If I said that right. Anyway, side thought. So we're gonna watch a video with Arthur. He's gonna give us the information from an Estonian soldier's point of view on what's going on with the Russian conflict. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, hit me up. But more importantly, hit Arthur's channel up, because I'm actually bringing him to y'all to introduce y'all to other YouTubers. You know, I watch him, so I think y'all enjoy him. That's the bottom line. He's a really good storyteller. Dude is good. He's good people. You can just tell. All right, here we go. We need to talk about Russian forces on the Ukrainian border. Title of the video. It's Artur Rehi. And let's go.
Let's talk about Russian forces on Ukrainian border.
Russian troops near the Ukraine border.
Hello, my friends. My name is Artur Rehi and I am an Estonian soldier.
What's going on, Arthur? Glad to see you doing good so far. A personal message for you if somebody says, hey, Arthur, you got a video in the United States. Hope you're doing good. The States is rooting for you, bro.
I served my time in
the
Kuperjanov Infantry Battalion in southern Estonia in 2018 and 19. Right now I'm in the reserves. If war happens with Russia and Estonia, I get a call, I take my weapon and I go. But today we're gonna talk about Ukraine and Russia. And this is one of the most requested videos. You guys want to know what I think about this as an Estonian soldier. Before I start, I will really quickly name 3 Patreons. This channel actually relies on Patreons. They keep it going and I'm very thankful for them. We have Jonathan Castro, the proud Texan. I'm glad that somebody from Texas, the state of guns, is supporting Estonia, actually. I'm glad. Thank you. Then we have Love Lore. Yeah, I could say Love Lore, but Love Lore is much more Estonian. Thank you for supporting the channel. And finally, we have Sean Putnam of Utah. We have Texas and Utah both supporting Estonia. Thank you, my friends from the States. If you want to support the channel, the Patreon link is in the description below. I choose this time to make this video because Estonian Parliament this very day is discussing how to help Ukraine in this time of need and what to do. I think every country in Europe has this discussion. If you don't know what's happening with Russia and Ukraine right now, Russian forces are on the Ukrainian border. They have been for 3 to 4 months, but I have a video lined up for you that will explain it better than I can.
About a month ago, the U.S. reported that Russian troops were gathering in large number in several cities near the Russian border with Belarus and Ukraine. Russia says it is entitled to station its troops on its territory, and they pose no threat.
Just a quick break. Before all this started happening, I always thought Ukraine was part of Russia. I think that's because the whole incident with the breakup of the USSR in, was it 90, 91, 92, 90, anywhere from 90 to 93. From 1990 to 93, there was a thing happened over in Russia, and then countries just broke off.
Threat, but NATO and Ukraine say.
Well, technically, yes, Russia can move troops around in its territory however much they want. But of course, every country knows that if you move your troops next to other countries' borders, it only sends one signal. And Russia knows this. They want to send that signal, I think.
Say Moscow may be preparing to launch an attack.
Russian troops near the Ukraine border in early November. The U.S. called it unusual activity and raised alarm over a possible invasion. Ukraine responded with its own show of force, military exercises in its border region.
We have complete control over our borders, and we are fully prepared for any escalation.
In 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea, Ukraine has made several reforms in its defense forces, and they are not as weak as they were in 2014. 7 years has passed, and Ukraine has done so much to its military with those 7 years. So it is not as easy for a country as big as Russia to take on Ukraine anymore. They would win, but the cost would be high.
NATO pledges its support to Ukraine and is warning against Russian aggression.
It is also clear that if Russia uses force against Ukraine, that will have costs, that will have consequences, and therefore we continue to call on Russia to de-escalate.
Actually, United States President Joe Biden has actually released the official consequences, what will happen if Russia invades Ukraine. The consequences are sanctions, but they're not soft sanctions. They're the harshest any country in the world has ever seen, except for maybe North Korea. They would switch Russia off from the SWIFT payment system, which is very much integrated into Russian economy, and this would punish especially the rich people, but also the poor people. The whole country would suffer, and this is just one thing. They would do a lot more. Joe Biden's administration has actually put together this packet to initiate immediately as the invasion happens. Disclaimer here, I'm not against Russian people. I'm not against any kind of people. I'm against the tyrannical government of Russia. I don't want you to get hurt or offended. I hope we can be friends. This is a political game here. People are simple. Me and you, we're just soldiers on the ground. I hope we can be friends.
Yo, so yeah. Yeah. Things is ramping up for the worse over there. And it's just getting worse. There's new moves being made. I heard the Baltic Sea is hot. Was it Baltic Sea? Black Sea is hot. Black Sea or Baltic Sea? One of them seas, the Black Sea or the Baltic Sea, something like that. One that's over there. I've been watching the flight radar, the flight tracker, and the airplane activity over there has been, things is getting crazy. It's a hot pot waiting to just blow.
Tensions are rising between Russia and the West over Kiev's renewed bid to join the NATO military alliance. For the Kremlin, any expansion of military aid to Ukraine is a red line.
I need to look up why they call him the Kremlin. It sounds like a bad thing because it's so close to Gremlin. I don't know what Kremlin is. I have to look that up. I'm going to have to educate myself on that one. Because I hear it, and I never actually stopped to look it up. Kremlin. Matter of fact, I'd have to get out a big screen to do that. Oh, nah. I'm going to look it up after the video. I may even just take and post it on the video. I probably will, so we can all be informed in the least amount of time. Let's get this information straight. But that's just a curiosity of why they call him the Kremlin.
We can't ignore these threats to the security of Russia. We will react to them as appropriate, adequately to the situation.
Ukraine already had a war scare with Russia earlier this year.
As a man, I can understand what Mr. Putin means. Yes, NATO is expanding on their doorstep. I cannot argue against that. I've seen many comments who say, what would you do if your enemy would do this? I know where it's coming from. I don't see an invasion as a mean to change this. I think diplomacy would be easier.
In April, Russia deployed tens of thousands of troops, aircraft, and missiles within striking distance of Ukraine. Moscow called it a military exercise, and after weeks of posturing, said the troops were being withdrawn. Western military experts say the maneuvers this November were less visible, perhaps on purpose.
We don't have clarity into Moscow's intentions, but we do know its playbook.
What Ukraine and the West fear is a repeat of 2014, when Russian troops entered Ukraine, followed by the annexation of Crimea, and a bloody war between Russia-backed separatists and Ukrainian troops in the eastern Donbass region.
That war has claimed the lives of 10,000 plus people, civilian and military casualties, and it's still going on. It's a cold, frozen conflict with two separate proxy states being established by Russia, Donbass and Luhansk. From Russian view, it is a very successful war for them because it keeps Ukraine in the conflict. If you have different opinions about these things, please put them in the comments. We might have different views upon this. We can still respect each other. Well, I can tell you this, Estonia has already decided to send Ukraine weapons. Obviously, Ukraine is not in NATO. They want to be. And we have no obligation to...
Okay. Putin don't want them to join NATO. I know he was trying to reestablish Russia the way it used to be before the collapse. Do know, based on stuff I've heard about Putin, that he is kind of on the obsessive side when it comes to that. So that might be something inspiring. Actually, I'm pretty much guaranteed that that's partly what's inspiring, wanting to have Russia back the way Russia was. All right, but I'm not a general.
We do this, but we do this because if Ukraine fights with Russia, it is very closely connected to Estonia fighting with Russia, Latvia, Lithuania.
Yeah, so you got Ukraine right there, and you got Estonia. I didn't realize Latvia was right there. I always thought Latvia was a little lower. Belarus. I don't know what I thought about Belarus. I thought Latvia was lower as far as like more south. That little country right there between Poland and Lithuania.
You're Poland fighting with Russia. We are all ex-Soviet states. And we're all states that Russia would like not to exist. Estonia is sending Javelin missiles, and we're sending 122mm howitzers. And I'm glad we do. And I would love Ukraine to be even more closer of an ally to us. This affects all of the Eastern European countries: Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Ukraine. Even Sweden has announced now that they are expanding their military budget and expanding their military capabilities. Estonian Foreign...
You know things are serious when Sweden put down the chocolate and start making guns. Dude, you know something's major. Man.
Minister has already asked NATO for a bigger presence of NATO military in Estonia. Americans, Germans, Danish, come to our country, help us protect ourselves. Finland has bought 60 plus F-35 fighter planes from America.
Ooh.
This is the biggest, best and the baddest fighter plane of the world. And this sends a clear message to Russia. You might remember
like
the
the
immigration crisis with Belarus, Poland and Belarus-Lithuania border. Estonia sent also 100 kilometers of barbed wire. We sent that to fortify Lithuania's border. Because if Lithuania is threatened, Estonia is kind of threatened. We are so close. This is how Estonia as a country shows its support to NATO members and also to Ukraine and to any Eastern European country that we stand together. How do I feel about it? I'm afraid. I have to admit that as a soldier. I don't want to go to war. I don't like war and I don't want to go. I don't want to get that call. But I have to go. And as an Estonian soldier, I am so glad that our country is in NATO because Russia actually picked Ukraine for a reason. They are not in NATO.
Because they're not in NATO.
Russia doesn't want Ukraine to be in NATO. We got in NATO in 2004. If we wouldn't have, right now it would be us instead of Ukraine. So NATO is kind of the reason Estonia can breathe freely here, next to Russia. This is my take on it. I am worried,
thank goodness for that.
I am afraid, but I'm ready. My friends, if this video offended you or didn't agree with you in any way, please put it in the comments. No need to get mad or angry, just explain yourself and I will explain myself. Let's remain respectful, please. And if you like my channel, then consider subscribing. And as always, my friends, until my next video, stay cool and bye-bye.
Pause. Yeah, I think it did. All right. Yeah. Things is heating up over there. That's Arthur. He is an Estonian soldier. That's kind of a tongue twister if you say it too fast. He is an Estonian. Yeah. Yeah. But, I don't even know what to say about that stuff over there. It's freaking major. I was watching some news reports on like the citizens there. There's no citizens. They got the hell out of there. There is some people scattered in there that couldn't get out or something like that, you know, case by case. But for the most part, they're saying that it's a ghost country. They're like the side that everything looking like it's about to pop off at is ghost. And that's smart. Because if you know war is coming, get the hell up out of there. Especially if you ain't got nothing to fight back with, training, guns, whatever. Just don't. I don't even know why Putin is tripping. Just, it's that greed thing, that human greed thing. I don't know. I got some mixed emotions about his move that he's making, but you know, I'm American. I'm not military. So what the hell do I know? I don't even like politics. I think politicians are like the most dangerous people. Conscienceless. You gotta be conscienceless. You send people to die for policies and greed. And in some cases, false hopes. And in some cases of the recent American past, lies. Mr. Rumsfeld. But we can talk about that because that was a long time ago now. Or can we? You know, people get offended over some things that is actual truth. But when you break it down, what can you really do about it? This whole Russian thing, it's going to be a major world incident. As far as like the people that are steadily coming in. I heard Spain just jumped in the circle. So, yeah. I don't even know what to give y'all on that one. It's just crazy out there right now. But all right, let me end this before I start doing run-on freaking spaces of pauses trying to think of what I want to say and how to say it. But I'm Crane OG and I am OUT. Deuces on the flips. Y'all homie got the dip. Make sure y'all hit the likes, hit the sub on both of our channels, mine and Arthur's. He puts out another report. I'll be bringing you another report. Till then, be safe.